In 2016, a group of hackers leaked digital weapons so powerful, even the world's most secret intelligence agency lost control. These tools weren't meant for the public. Once they were released, global cyber warfare changed forever.
Something happened that completely shook the digital world. It's one of the biggest, wildest intelligence mysteries of our time. A ghost just appeared in the machine, claiming it had done the impossible. So, how did it all go down?
I mean, this is the central question, right? Who could possibly hack the NSA? Think about it. The National Security Agency. They're supposed to be the digital fortress, the unbreachable walls. So who on earth could get inside and steal their most powerful secrets?
And this is how they introduce themselves. Not in some dark corner of the web, but right out in the open on Twitter. In this crazy, broken English, a group calling themselves the Shadow Brokers just announced to the world that they were putting the NSA's own secret weapons up for sale.
Okay, so let's rewind and start right at the beginning, with the moment this ghost first appeared on the world stage.
The sheer audacity of it was just stunning. The name itself, Shadow Brokers, is actually a little nod to a character from the video game Mass Effect, someone who deals in secrets. And their claim that they were literally auctioning off the NSA's top secret hacking tools was so insane that, at first, pretty much everyone thought it had to be some kind of elaborate prank.
Now, to really get why this was such a massive deal, you have to understand who they were targeting. This wasn't just some random government office.
They went after TAO, which stands for Tailored Access Operations. And let me tell you, inside the cybersecurity world, these guys were, well, they were legends. They were also called the Equation Group because their code was so complex. People thought of them as the gods of cyber spies, literally untouchable.
So what made these guys so special? It was all about their focus. See, most hacking you hear about is either defense, protecting your own stuff, or attack, breaking things. But TAO was all about exploitation. They didn't just kick down the door. No, they'd find a tiny crack, slip inside without anyone noticing, and just stay there for years. They became this invisible, all-seeing eye inside the world's most secure networks.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? How on earth did a group this sophisticated, this unhackable, get hacked? Well, the answer isn't some super complex Mission Impossible style plot. It's actually, shockingly and kind of frighteningly, human.
Believe it or not, it all came down to this simple, almost ridiculous chain of events. An NSA guy working for TAO took classified tools home with him, just put them on his personal computer. And that computer was running a pretty common antivirus program. And that program did exactly what it was supposed to do. It scanned the files, saw these incredibly powerful hacking tools, and flagged them as malware. Then it automatically uploaded a copy back to the company's servers for analysis.
And just like that, poof, the keys to the kingdom weren't inside the NSA's digital fortress anymore. They were sitting on some third-party server, completely exposed. That was the opening. That was the single point of failure that let the Shadow Brokers pull off the biggest heist of the century.
But this wasn't just some embarrassing moment for the NSA. No, the fallout from this leak unleashed absolute chaos on a global scale.
And at the heart of all this chaos was one specific tool, Eternal Blue. You can think of it basically as a digital master key for the internet. It took advantage of a flaw in Windows that could give a hacker total, silent control over a computer. It was an unbelievably powerful weapon. And just look at how fast everything went downhill. In April 2017, the Shadow Brokers got tired of their little auction and just dumped Eternal Blue online. For free. A month later, just 1 month, it was fueling the WannaCry ransomware attack, which crippled hospitals and businesses all over the world. Then, the very next month, the NotPetya attack used that same exact tool to cause billions of dollars in damage. The weapon was out, and the world was feeling the pain.
You had former NSA guys like David Kennedy saying it was just mass pandemonium and mayhem. The cybersecurity world was in a total state of panic. The skeletons weren't just out of the NSA's closet, they were now burning down the entire neighborhood. After all that destruction, we're back to the big mystery. Who really were
the shadow brokers. Well, to crack this, you have to ask yourself, was this really about the money? Did their whole auction story actually make any sense? The evidence, well, it points to a big no. If they really wanted cash, they could have quietly sold these tools on the black market for a fortune.
So let's connect the dots here. First, the motive. This was never about profit. It was about publicly humiliating the NSA. Then there's the timing, which was really suspicious. Their big leaks and online rants almost always happened right after a big news story came out that was critical of Russia. It was like they were trying to change the subject. And finally, the method. This whole bizarre online character and the trolling, it was a masterclass in getting the media's attention.
And you know when you ask the people who would know best, like Jake Williams, a guy who used to work for Tao and was even called out by the shadow brokers himself. The answer you get is, well, it's pretty blunt. This wasn't some random hacking crew. This had all the fingerprints of a Russian intelligence operation.
The long-term damage from this whole thing was just immense. For the NSA, their entire arsenal was now burnt, which is spy talk for useless. They had to start over, setting them back years. It also completely shattered this dangerous idea they had called no-bus, or nobody but us, this belief that they were the only ones smart enough to find and use these kinds of flaws. And for the rest of us, the world is just a more dangerous digital place now, because these nation-state level weapons are out there for anyone to use.
Look, the NSA has definitely rebuilt its toolbox by now, but the story of the shadow brokers, man, it's a chilling reminder of just how fragile all of this is. It really forces you to ask, what happens when the next master key gets leaked? And will any of us be ready for it?